Mark your calendar for April 17th, 2026. Because that's the day Tesla opens reservations for a car priced at $12,749 a number. That sounds impossible until you understand what's really been happening to your money for decades. This isn't just another car launch. It's a line in the sand. A moment designed to expose a system that has quietly drained drivers dry, especially Americans over the age of 55. Right now, the average older driver is losing about $12,297 every single year just to keep a gasoline car on the road. That's roughly $1,025 a month, disappearing into insurance premiums, expensive fuel, oil changes, brake replacements, transmission issues, and those mysterious repair bills that always seem to appear the moment your warranty expires. Stretch that over 10 years and you're looking at $122,970 gone. The car itself loses half its value and eventually ends up traded in for pennies on the dollar. Dealerships don't survive on selling cars. Nearly half of their profit, around 49%, comes from service bays. Oil companies depend on you visiting the pump every week. Banks love locking you into 72-month loans with interest stacked on top. This entire ecosystem is designed to keep you paying forever. Elon Musk just lit a match under that system. According to a leaked Eisenly executive memo from Giga-Texas, Tesla has locked production costs for this vehicle at just $9,200 per unit. That number alone explains why legacy automakers are nervous. But what really matters is how Tesla spent the last 18 months. Obsessively fixing every reason men and women over 55 have resisted electric cars. Too low to comfortably get into, too expensive to repair, too loud on rough freeways, too confusing with giant touchscreens and buried menus. Every one of those complaints was treated like a personal challenge. April 17th, 2026 is positioned as the day the ripoff finally ends. And if you stay with this story, you'll see why Tesla believes this could be the last car many people ever need to buy. Over the next stretch of time, we're talking about engineering decisions that sound more like something from aerospace or military design than a sub-$13,000 vehicle. This car isn't cheap because it's flimsy. It's cheap because Tesla removed everything that wastes money and kept everything that actually matters. The foundation of the car starts with a rigid, aerospace-grade structure built using Tesla's unboxed manufacturing process. Instead of assembling a car piece by piece in a long, inefficient line, Tesla breaks the vehicle into major modules that are built simultaneously. This alone cuts production costs by about 50% and reduces factory floor space by roughly 40%. At the heart of this system is a single 9,000-tune giga-casting machine that replaces around 70 separate stamped and welded parts. Fewer parts mean fewer failure points. No welds means no cracks forming over time. No bolts means no squeaks, rattles, or loosening hardware after 100,000 miles. What you end up with is one solid piece of aerospace-grade aluminum alloy, rated at around 450 megapascals of tensile strength stronger than the steel frames used in most compact cars today. Each casting cycle takes roughly 80 to 90 seconds, which means Tesla can produce about 40 to 45 complete chassis sections every hour from a single machine. On top of that sits a structural battery pack that doesn't just store energy, but acts as the load-bearing floor of the vehicle. In a crash, forces are distributed across the entire structure, similar to how a fighter jet fuselage manages impact stress. The torsional stiffness of this design comes in at around 45,000 Newton-meters per degree. That's about 30% stiffer than a Model 3 and literally double what you get from cars like the Honda Civic or Toyota Corolla. In real-world terms, that stiffness translates into a car that doesn't flex when cornering, doesn't develop rattles as it ages, feels just as solid at 200,000 miles as it did the day you drove it off the lot. Despite all that strength, the entire body weighs only around 220 to 240 kilograms, which is actually 25 to 35 kilograms lighter than traditional construction methods. Less weight means lower energy consumption, especially at highway speeds. Where this design cuts usage by about 2 to 4%, interior noise levels stay between 64 and 66 decibels, It's quieter than many living rooms and noticeably calmer than most compact cars on the road. In crash testing, this chassis can absorb impact energy, equivalent to being struck by an SUV at 37 miles per hour, while keeping the passenger cell intact. It's the kind of engineering you expect in a $60,000 vehicle. Not something priced under $13,000. Then there's the driving technology. And this is where Tesla addresses one of its biggest criticisms head-on. Phantom braking has been a nightmare for many Tesla owners, Sutton. It's unnecessary braking that feels dangerous and embarrassing. The Model 2 attacks this problem with full self-driving supervised version 14.2.1. Built on Tesla's latest neural network architecture. This system uses 10 times more neural network parameters than earlier versions and has been trained on millions of miles of real-world driving data. Hardware plays a massive role here. The car is equipped with 12 high-resolution cameras providing full 360-degree visibility. Upgraded millimeter-wave radar, that's about 50% more precise than older systems. Ultrasonic sensors for close-range maneuvering. And for the first time in an affordable Tesla, short-range LiDAR integrated into the front bumper. All of that data flows into an advanced neural network with triple-layer cross-verification. Cameras identify objects and read signs. Radar measures precise distances and relative speeds. AI models predict what surrounding vehicles, cyclists, and pedestrians are likely to do next. In over 180,000 kilometers of testing across rush-hour traffic, construction zones, bad weather, and chaotic urban environments, this system eliminated phantom braking entirely. Zero false stops. For drivers in places like Los Angeles, San Diego, or the Bay Area, that means stop-and-go traffic becomes something you tolerate calmly instead of gripping the wheel in frustration. The system also introduces practical features designed for everyday comfort. Arrival options automatically choose optimal parking spots. Speed profiles can be customized, whether you prefer a relaxed pace, standard flow, or a slightly faster hurry mode. Gesture recognition has been improved so basic commands feel intuitive instead of gimmicky. Powering all of this is an LFP battery that delivers between 300 and 350 miles of real-world range. For most people, that's a full week of commuting on a single charge or a comfortable road trip without constant planning. On a supercharger, the battery can go from 0 to 80% in about 25 minutes. Range anxiety becomes a thing of the past. Safety extends beyond software and structure. Tesla completely redesigned the door system after reports surfaced of electronic doors failing during power loss and crashes or fires. In those incidents, some passengers, especially children and older adults, had difficulty escaping. The Model 2 uses a dual-layer approach. Under normal conditions, doors open electronically with a simple tap. Hidden within the door trim, however, is a stainless steel mechanical latch that requires no power at all. Pulling it with less than 5 kilograms of force opens the door instantly. A 72-year-old can do it one-handed. A child can do it without assistance. Tesla ran over 10,000 simulated emergency scenarios at Giga, Texas, including total power loss, fires, and rollovers. The manual backup worked 99.8% of the time. In real crashes, it allows occupants to exit in 3 to 5 seconds, reducing potential injury risk by about 40%. It's a small detail that quietly saves lives, and it comes standard. Even the tires reflect this obsession with long-term ownership costs. Instead of basic wheels, the Model 2 comes standard with 19-inch Bridgestone Turanza EV tires developed specifically for Tesla. These provide about 15% more surface contact, improving grip and weight distribution. The rubber compound is infused with graphene, an advanced carbon material typically reserved for high-end performance cars. Graphene increases durability by around 37%, making 100,000 miles of tread life realistic. The tread design uses a lotus leaf effect that pushes water, snow, and debris away instantly, reducing hydroplaning and improving control in poor weather. Aerodynamic wheel covers reduce drag by about 10%, adding roughly 20 to 30 miles of range per charge while protecting wheel hubs and brakes from corrosion. These are install and forget tires, no seasonal swaps, no constant replacements. Ride comfort is handled by an intelligent, adaptive suspension system that sounds absurd at this price point. Electromagnetic dampers adjust in just 10 milliseconds, 5 times faster than many luxury air suspension systems. Using cameras, radar, and GPS, the car scans the road ahead. When it detects potholes or rough pavement, the suspension preloads before the wheels even make contact. The car can lift slightly and soften spring rates, cutting vibrations by up to 60%. On the highway, the system lowers the car to reduce drag and improve efficiency. The result is a ride quality comparable to luxury sedans that cost 5 or 6 times as much. All of these decisions point to the same conclusion. This isn't about making the cheapest car possible. It's about making the last car you'll ever need. A vehicle designed to minimize maintenance, eliminate unnecessary expenses, and remove the stress and complexity that have come to define modern car ownership. For decades, drivers were told that rising costs were unavoidable. April 17, 2026 is Tesla's way of saying that wasn't true. The technology,